Hello. We're on to a new episode of Weird Guy Wednesday, but this time it's Saturday. Um, Today, I know I said that my next video would be um, showing you some painting stuff, but I lied. I'm going to try to stop saying what I'm doing next because I never know. I'm always wrong. Instead, today I need to work on some models for a game I'm playing tomorrow called Infinity. It's a cool like cyberpunk game. Um, the models are really cool. The only issue being that the models are made of metal, which is kind of a pain to work with. It's not the end of the world. I've done it before. But yeah, so it's just gonna be me trying to desperately get done with um, all these models that I have so that I have a playable force tomorrow. I'm not gonna even think about painting or basing them or anything. So we're just working on getting them glued together and glued to some bases. Nothing fancy. Um, yeah. So I will. Let me get the camera set up. Okay. Um, so yes, white metal miniatures, which is usually a kind of pewter, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Um, they're kind of annoying. Um, you have to wash them as soon as you get them to clean off mold release, which really sticks to these more so than plastic miniatures. You have to do the same thing to resin though, but it's you got to be careful. There is very much an element here of um, permanence. You can't really undo anything that you do when you're working with metal. With plastic, it's relatively easy to like re-add stuff, but resculpting something out of metal is very hard. Um, but so all these have been washed in an isopropyl alcohol bath. What you got to do to make sure that you don't, yeah, to get the rest of that mold release stuff off, and to prepare it for gluing and whatnot. Um, Unfortunately, I did try to glue this one before I remembered to do that, so there's some super glue I gotta scrape off the connection points here. And got caught again trying to do this recording. I don't think I'll ever not want to die when that happens. So that was exciting. But for you guys, anything. Or might not be super chatty during this one. I I might end up just fast forwarding um, through this if I forget to talk for a long time. But I just really need to get these done because I promised I would be ready to go tomorrow. And then the last 2 days have kind of gotten away from me, which is unfortunate, but time crunch does help with the procrastination. Um, I really do like the design of these models. They're very cool, very cyberpunk, very clean, super high tech looking. Um, the only problem being that because of that, I really don't want there to be any showing like glue or overfill or scratches or anything. So got to be really careful about that. Metal also doesn't really like to be glued, but I really don't want to have to pin all of these things because that's a gigantic pain in the butt. Um, but I may end up having to. We'll see. I could probably just stick these together, in all honesty. with like sticky tack or something and call it good for this short term, just learning how to play kind of game. That's quitter talk. And then I would leave him like that forever, so I can't do that. Yeah. If I can't get these joints to stick, or I have too much trouble with them, I may have to make some green stuff up because it's extra sticky. So it would help. Um, so I've already cleaned this leg. Looking shiny, looking clean, looking great. I haven't cleaned this one. So as you can see, there's huge chunks of extra metal on these. It's called flashing. It's just what goes on when the mold isn't uh, either when the mold isn't super tight, so it has gaps in it and some squeezes out, or more often it is what they use for like vent holes to make sure that the plastic gets everywhere that it's supposed to get, or not the plastic, the metal during the casting. I don't know if these are spin cast. I assume they probably are. That's where you put a bunch of outlines in a metal plate and then fill it full of liquid and literally just spin it really fast. That's how they used to make old BattleTech miniatures and basically all old miniatures, I think. Um, don't know if that's still the standard practice or not. So, yeah, just luckily this is very soft metal, right? So it's annoying, but you can cut it with a knife. You can sand it pretty easily. It's not the end of the world to work with. It's just the least convenient material that miniatures are still made out of. Um, but okay. So what I do like to do is once I've rough sanded it, then I come in with some 6000 grit and I just polish it, make it look nice. Wow, 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 wow. I don't think you can probably even see that. Um, but so one thing I am also gonna do is just kind of scratch the shit out of this part. Increases the surface area on these. Then these go in the leg joints. So scratch the leg joints. Trying to be careful not to scratch outside of the joint. Uh, so I'm going to grab this leg first. Putting the glue on the leg rather than in the hole because this is the super glue bottle is no longer very precise at this point. Um, no instructions for these miniatures. You're just kind of guessing. So I am looking at a picture right now of the box art to try to guess what part goes where. Right. This guy's only in like 4, 5, or 6 pieces, so it's fine, but it is just kind of funny to me that there's just no instructions. It's certainly not a beginner level um, material type to work with. I've never had a metal miniature that has instructions. Guess they just assume you'll figure it out, or you won't. Not their problem. Okay. Want these to be vaguely flat. I'm leaving this nubbin on because it actually goes in the base. Help it stand up. Okay. Oh, nope, that's not right. Oh, no. Okay. Really messed up that one. This one I didn't realize has a handy dandy little groove over here to tell me where it's actually supposed to go. Okay. So that one goes like that. And that one goes like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Gonna look at the picture again. Make sure I'm not getting it too wrong. Um, okay, these are supposed to both be flat on there, so I think this leg is in the wrong spot a little bit. It needs to come down just a smidgen. There we go. I think that's closer to correct. So hopefully those legs will stay in place. We'll see. Um, Gotta get these arms cleaned up. Very little piece of flashing here on the little fingy nubs. Be careful I don't screw them up too bad. Okay. Don't think there's any other flashing. I'm not gonna really think about mold lines at this moment. I don't really have time, so I will make another pass before I paint them to go over the mold lines. This guy's called a Bayara. He's a little robot who just happens to be shaped like a dragon. There's no actual reason for it other than it's cool, which seems to be the reasoning for a lot of stuff in this game. It's just that it's cool, and I appreciate that in a game. I like it when things don't try to like shoehorn in something being cooler than it actually is. I'm like, no, it's a little robot dragon. That's sick as hell. That's why we did it. It's like this one's got a little bit of flashing still. This stuff's small enough. I don't want to use the clippers for it first. I'm just gonna come in with my knife and carve through it very gently. Using the other arm as a guideline for what is and is not supposed to be here. It's shiny. Okay. Yeah. I'm laying my hand on. Oh, that does make me feel kind of stupid. I've got a grid pattern on my arm now. You can kind of see it. I was laying it on the thing I'm using to hold the rest of the miniatures, which is this little jewelry piece case. Um, just using it to hold the pieces separate so I don't accidentally mix anything up. Um, but I didn't think about just closing the lid, which makes me feel a little goofy, a little silly. That's okay. All right. So So these bases are interesting. I know I'll get to the hand in a second, but bases are interesting. They come with spots to punch out, depending on where you want to put stuff. And so if I want to put this guy pointed like this, which is not exactly where it's supposed to go based on the box art. Where do I want it to be? Do I want it to be here? No, I want it to be kind of facing the other direction. It should be like this. No, that's a lie. It should be like this ish. Um, yeah, there's a spot to punch in. I need to pull up the model again. Yeah. A tough one. It's a tough one there, boss. So basically, this guy is supposed to be facing like so ish, um, with its foot pretty much in the center of the, the model thing, and its other foot on the edge over here. So somewhere around here ish, which doesn't really have anything to line up on it, unfortunately. Maybe do this one here in the middle. Yeah, that's probably the one I'm supposed to do. Yeah, okay. So I'll do that. Punch through this one right here. Um, very strange. I've never had another model set do this before. It's very odd. Not bad, just very odd. And you kind of need a connection point, because if I didn't do this, I'd at least have to pin the model to the base, because metal models are so heavy that they just rip themselves off the base otherwise, which is not convenient in the least. Uh, so just gonna try to gently work my way through this. I don't want to fuck it up too bad. Perfect. That's very convenient for me that this happened to be the right size. Okay. So now I need to figure out which direction it's supposed to go. Which is the issue. The problem now. The problem. The problem. Because these bases have rules, which is weird. I've also never experienced that before. So it has these little markings on the side. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's got little markings pointing this way. So this must be, this is the front, I guess, of it. So yeah, you're supposed to stand kind of like this on there, which is exciting. So let me just quickly make a mark here so I can remember where that's supposed to be. Because I'm going to glue this in, and then I need to kind of fix this leg, which did not work correctly. So it needs to be flat on here. So Needs to kind of go like forward. He's supposed to be crouched pretty severely, it looks like. So gotta clean the glue off again. Most of these are not going to be this complicated to put together because they're just like guys with arms. It's just this thing and then one other thing, which are like creatures rather than um, human soldier types. Okay. You know, don't really want to, but I might have to pin this one. We'll see. Alright, I'm gonna put some glue here. All around there. Kind of annoying. Okay. And some of these sins will be forgiven once I actually put basing material on here. It'll clean a lot of this off um, and hide a lot of the things that I have done here. But this is kind of a departure for me. I don't usually do like clean, fancy looking army stuff. This is just a skirmish game, so there's not like as much investment necessary, but it is certainly outside my comfort zone. Okay, one second. I'm gonna see if I've got any more of these. Okay, I do. I need a finer point, so I buy these. I buy these in bulk to replace um, the pieces because I'm really bad about keeping these um, clean. So twist this one on. Okay. I keep the caps usually to use for other stuff because they're interesting shapes. So I'm just gonna twist this new one on. Okay. And then we'll just cut the end off like so. Okay, there we go. Now we have a much finer applicator to work with, so we can safely and comfortably get into these small gaps. Holding it. Yeah. These guys are very dynamic, very cool, kind of annoying. to work with, but it's fine. We will persevere. Okay. So this one I'm going to apply glue here. Try not to apply like a crazy amount, and then apply kind of a crazy amount here to the foot. Try not to get this stuck to me too horrendously bad. Fuck. Okay, on the base. Frustrating. Gonna leave that there for a minute. This one comes with a little friend. Um, I need to figure out which friend that is. I think it's this one with this little cloak cape thing, and then this little gun. So I'm gonna wait for this leg to set, so I don't bust it when I try to put the arms on, and I'm gonna start working on this instead. Um, so I go in and cut off the most egregious parts with these clippers. Again, it's very soft metal, so like it's fine. It's not gonna hurt your clippers or nothing. It's good. And this is not ideal. I don't know if this is flashing. I think it's supposed to be the flamethrower tip. I'm gonna leave it. Better to err on the side of caution than to just wildly start cutting stuff. Again, would be super swell if there were some instructions. But alas, there are not. So, I've got another little foot peg. It's convenient. Okay. So then I'm just gonna go in and clean up where the flashing was. Pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing crazy. And I won't make you guys watch me do all of these, because this video is, gosh dang it. This video is already about half an hour long, and I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more guys to do after this. Gonna be a long night, but I am excited to paint these guys. Like I said, I don't usually paint clean style, so this will be a fun little challenge for myself to see if I can do it. I mean, I know I'll be able to do it. I just don't know what challenges await me in doing it. I foresee a lot of glazing in my future, uh, which is what they call it when you do very thin layers of paint on top of each other. Stuff also makes your hands smell kind of funny because they're, like I said, it's like pewter or something. So it's kind of fun. No, I don't believe this is supposed to be here. Yes, that came off far too easily to have been supposed to be there. I hope. We'll see. And there is also this inside part in here, which I didn't notice. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this one's looking good. I think. Didn't have too much flashing on it really. Uh, these are pretty nice. These are pretty nice models. Like even with the flashing, there it's really not that big. Really not that big of a deal.